Sorare really set their stall out at the beginning of this year, and we lifted our expectations for where we expected the bar to be, with $15 million being the headline number in prize money that was going to be given out across the 24-25 European season. There has been a huge focus on Sorare adapting the competitions and iterating the different changes that they've had with Essence and all the rest of it. But one thing that Sorare has put out this year that has continually got better and better as every month has went on is the monthly calendar updates of all the special events that we're going to have, with the big ticket special weekly competitions with amazing cards and all the money kind of getting, not all the money, but some of the special jackpot competitions being laid out. And yesterday at point of recording we got our March update. Now the March update, guys, we're going to break it down in this video, but it looks to be, for me, the best one that we've had so far. And this is a very important point of the season, because normally when the special weeklies at the beginning of this year were looking quite good and pretty exciting, and people were getting stuck into them, buying cards, winning stuff and all the rest of it, a lot of people did kind of say, oh, it's just kind of Sorare's marketing, they're just trying to sell more cards, which, fair enough, that is their game, that is their business. But it's still to be lifting its level throughout the season, and now we're getting to March, April, May, the sharp end, the business end of the season. It shows no signs of slowing down. At any point in the video today, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. If you're brand new and you haven't opened up your account yet, there's a link in the description of this video that will get you $50, pounds, euros, whatever your currency is, of market credit to help you go out and reinforce your squad. Once you've bought 5 players of any price, and players are as little as 50p these days from the primary market, which is instant buy and auctions, by clicking on that link you obviously give yourself a 50 quid heads up, an extra cash injection for building your squad, for building out your roster. And if you open up a Sorare account without clicking on that link and getting that extra cash, then you're 50 quid behind everyone else. But by doing that, you also support me and all the content here at the channel. So sincerely, before you start playing Sorare, please do click on the link that's in the description of the video. And if you do get stuck, if you've got any questions, there's tons of content here on the channel, and you can even jump into the comment section and I'll come and sort you out. But yeah, let's just get stuck straight into it like a dog eating beetroot, because honestly my eyes widened when I was reading this, because it is just, it covers all the bases and then some. So this is the special events March calendar. It's a 5-minute read apparently, but we'll see how we get on. And now we've got European Champion Nights. Now the thing with this, the Champions League and the Europa League competitions that have been going on, is they've went all season long. Essentially there was a little bit of fear that maybe they would have only been available in the group stage or whatever, but it's been consistent all the way throughout. And the prize, the cash pots in here, $15,000 for a specialist one, for champions, an overall European champions one, and a Europa and Conference League. So for clarity, we've got we've got 2 Champions League competitions and 1 combined for Europa and for Conference League. And I don't know how to feel about the rules. There's also a lot less clubs at this stage of the competition, but it's multi-entry. You can play up to 3 lineups, and it is limited to 2 players that have an L15, the last 15 games, their average of 60 out of 100 or more. So you can't play a full stud team of guys that are smashing and on form, and you need to have at least 1 guy whose form over the last 15 games is below 50 or 50 on the button. But this is part of the problem that we've had with this competition. We only had it rectified for 1 game week, and that is max 2 players from the same active club. It feels like, especially with there being less teams, that this is a lesson they should have learned from already. When I think it was the first leg against Bayern Munich, that one for Celtic, it was max 2 from the same club. I couldn't field a team. The second game week they made it 3, and it was a lot better. So I don't know why now, but it's not even less clubs actually, because the amount of matches is actually the same as the last round, because it was only a playoff round rather than anything else. So yeah, I find that confusing, to be honest with you. Now, this is great. We get MLS specialists. So for match day 3 of MLS, at point of recording, we've just had match day 1. We're about to come into match day 2. So it's the next match day thereafter, which is the 7th to 11th of March, game week 60. And this is going to be alongside the MLS core competition. This is extra utility, an extra prize pool, an extra place to be playing MLS cards, an extra place for MLS cards to be played and thin the herd of Messis and Luchos and, Vanders and whatever else is going around these days. And the rules on this are a little bit tougher than the champion one that we've seen, and that some of the restrictions are a little bit more fair given the makeup of MLS and everyone's squads to this point. Max 1 player L15 above 60, so 1 star, 1 stud in there. 2 players have to be below the 50. 2 players from the same club, so no hardcore stacking is happening here. No captain pick, and you get multi-entry. 4 in-seasons required, not 5. And this is for $20,000 in total cash. This is going to be a really exciting competition because with only having one DP level player from MLS like Messi or whoever in the squads, this is going to be anyone's game. With there no being stacking in the same club, looking at a fixture and just leaning into that team's going to smash that team, play 3 or 4 cards and work from it there will not be possible. And then with the no captain thing, it doesn't level the playing field. It makes it really tight. You need to get every decision right in this situation. Your captain can't bail you out, so all 5 of your cards need to be good picks. And with it only being 4 in season rather than 5, that's a nice little tip of the cap to the budget players out there that are probably still running with classic goalkeepers. And then we have the return of the Super Clash. So this is a game week where there's going to be a lot of active matches in European and world football that Sorare just say, hey, special weekly for these 10 pre-selected games, and it is $20,000 again in available cash. And this is a good one that covers the length and breadth of Europe, really. We have Arsenal versus Chelsea, PSG versus Olympique Marseille. We've got the blue and black derby of Atalanta against Inter Milan, Atletico versus Barca, which is a top of the table clash, Leipzig versus Dortmund, goals galore, Stuttgart Leverkusen, not too far off the same, Ajax AZ, which is normally a more ferocious match in recent years, but maybe not quite at the moment. Need to check the Dutch league before I really qualify that. Similar to Genk and USG, neither one of them having a vintage year, really anything to play for there. We've then got the new Glasgow derby, Celtic versus Rangers, so I'm going to be involved in this one, which is a buzz. And then we've got Atlanta United versus Inter Miami from MLS, so there's a lot of great compositions of different teams here. No one power fixture, and let's see the requirements for it. So we've got 5 in-season cards required, needed, max 1 L15 over 60, 2 under the 50 mark, and 2 players from the same active club. So already the wheels are turning for me. 5 in-seasons, I've got 2 Barca guys, one of them will play definitely. I've got more than enough Celtic guys, and you know, I actually have a Leipzig and a Dortmund in season, as well as having some classic Marseille, and maybe 1 or 2 other bits and bobs in classic actually, now that I zoom out and think about it from no, it's 5 in season, so I'm not thinking about classic, of course. So I might just already actually have just about a team that could go out in this. We'll need to see how that shakes up. And then we've got international nights. The last international break of the season is here, with 2 select your target competitions, an underdog comp and an international special classic comp. That's not all. There will also be international nights in season, beat the target comp, with $20,000 in prize pool across the scarcities during game week 64. Simply beat the points, so you set your target. They'll give you 3 targets. Easy target, there's probably not much money there. Middle target will be hard, but it's probably worth it. And then jackpot, which probably no one's going to take, and maybe a few people could hit. And the exact rules will be detailed when the game week opens. So guys, I think we're past the halfway mark, but so much to go through here. 270 anti-stacks, which has been good fun, by the way, whenever I've been playing it. The lineup entries are all quite simple, but this is an in-season competition now. We've seen it in Classic. Again, $20,000 in cash. You need 5 in-seasons for this one. And this could be really fun because it's a global comp, I think, from all intents and purposes here. And please note there will be a Classic version of the tournament with cards to be won. So yeah, that's interesting. A global cap anti-stack 270 should be great fun for anyone, MLS cards, any region, champ or otherwise, so that's great to see. And there's a classic kind of mirror image there if you're a classic player. We hope you enjoyed this month's La Liga Collector event. We're excited to announce that similar events for Prem, Bundes are planned later this season, offering signed jerseys as prizes. So they did one this month where every team in La Liga had its own leaderboard. You had to go in there, and there was only a prize given out for being number 1 collector, and it was like signed shirts or tickets, that kind of thing. So they're going to do that for the Prem and for Bundes. Every game week in March will feature a permanent all-star, every game week, with 2 entries allowed, plus you'll have the chance to showcase your scouting skills and managerial expertise and even more fan favourite comps. Here's a full lineup of what to expect in March, and it is, guys, it is giga-packed. Honestly, there's so much utility available now with cards, with all the leagues and everything being available at the moment. There's never been more in-seasons available now as well, with all the kind of stuff from across the Atlantic and even the guys in Asia getting their in-season cards available. And this is going to be March Madness. This is going to be a crazy month where it's all those core competitions that are still going to be at the primary focus of everyone's prioritisation, particularly if you're in Division 1. But if you're not in Division 1 for anything, these things are going to be very, very important to earmark, and there's going to be some great opportunities to win cards and cash of players of all gallery sizes, budgets, and strength and whatever as well, and that's the end of the announcement. But this is one I'm really excited for, not just for my European stuff but also for MLS. There's a lot of global aspects in this. The international stuff is great to see as well. The select your target element of that should be fun. And my birthday's in March. My birthday is March 17th, which is Derby weekend, the Super Clash weekend, so it just feels on so many levels that March is going to be probably the biggest month of the season for me anyway, with some of the form of my players picking up all the cash that's available here, my birthday, the derby, and everything is just going off in a big way. This was a great announcement. So much is in it, so much more utility available for MLS cards, as well as the non-champ European ones getting included in some of those special weeklies, classic and in season as well. And March is only a couple of days away at this point, guys, so it is buckle up, because it's going to be an absolute roller coaster now as we huddle towards the end of the season. I expect this to only be the beginning of the end. I think the April and May calendar should be as jam-packed as this, if not more so. And Sorare could be sprinting across the finish line this season with the amount of cash and the amount of rewards and everything that are given out. Whereas, like I mentioned in the intro, it felt like some of the sentiment in the community was it was hyper-focused at the beginning of the season to sell all the early access cards, etc. But seeing this maintain and, in my opinion, increase as the season has went on, it should give you a lot of confidence for next season, buying into in-season at any stage, and like we've been highlighting continuously on the channel, no matter what your entry point is, no matter what your immediate strategy is on Sorare, doesn't matter if you're classic or you're in-season, this game is about how you play both to one extent or another. So it's good to see that even if you're coming into this season as a classic player and you wanted to wait for prices to calm down or get secondary market cards on the cheap, cards that have been won as rewards that people don't want, or even if you were buying an in-season and you're a little bit worried about maybe inflated prices at the beginning of the year or whatever, that even playing all the way now into this sharp end, business end of the season, so they are not giving up on the party, as it were. They're not saying job done for us, cards are sold and we'll see you next season. They are pushing the boat out, they're keeping things going and, like I say, sprinting across the finish line of the European season. I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts and feelings down in the comment section down below. On screen are now some other stuff that we've made that YouTube thinks you might enjoy. It is going to be a massive midweek. I am crossing my fingers and toes and hoping that we hold on to some amazing positions with the Celtic stacks and everything else as we prepare for another massive weekend, with Road to Glory being back, Zero to Hero and everything else in between. Stay out of trouble and I will catch you on the next one.